Welcome to a new episode of Treasures, where we admire the splendor and magnificent treasures of Egypt, and we experience a lifetime trip with every treasure we stand in front of. We'll just go for a short break and be right back. Stay with us. Today's treasure will be soaring past Old Cairo. We are at the Citadel. We're right in front of the mosque of El Nasr Muhammad ibn Qalawun. Welcome back, and we're joined today with our expert, tourist guide, Mr. Emad Hamdy. Welcome, Mr. Emad.
Welcome.
Can we start off first by telling us where are we?
We are at the Citadel, and we are close to the mosque of Nasr Muhammad ibn Qalawun and the mosque of Muhammad Ali. This place is one of the most important places in Cairo because Al-Nasr during the 14th century decided to build his mosque here in this place, and he also added the palace of the Sultan in this place, where Muhammad Ali later just replaced this palace with a big mosque, which later known as Alabaster Mosque.
Well, can I just ask you, what is Qalawun? What's the meaning of the word?
Qalawun is a Persian name, defines a flying duck, and is of a Persian origin, and his family, starting with Qalawun the Great, was from a Turkish origin as well.
Okay, so shall we move on and start taking a look and touring inside the mosque? Mr. Emad, can you tell us who is the founder of this mosque?
The founder is his name is Nasr Muhammad ibn Qalawun, and we can read his name over.
That's the foundation slab?
This is the foundation slab of the mosque. It consists of 4 lines, and started with in the name of Allah, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, and it mentions the date and the name of the founder, Nasr Muhammad ibn Qalawun, during the 14th century. The mosque was built during the year 1318.
As we've just entered the mosque, we'd like to ask Mr. Hamdy, what is the style of the mosque? Just a bit about.
Yes, the mosque following the traditional style with columns and arches supported by the columns forming the arcades. We have four riwaks inside this mosque. Riwak defines the columns with the arches of different rows.
And now, as we're moving on into the details, Mr. Hamdy, of the mosque, we have lots of columns, as I can see, and I think they're also featured significantly the capitals of the columns. If you can tell me a little bit about the capitals of the columns and the columns themselves.
Yes, inside this mosque we have many columns of different size and different colors as well. It's not from the same material. And these columns was taken from older monasteries and churches. Some of these columns was taken from older buildings like Greek and Roman buildings.
It's really interesting that they're taken from monasteries and they're actually put here.
Was recycled inside this mosque. And some of these capitals, as we can see, is Corinthian capitals. Others bears some Christian features like the cross, and we can see the floral cross on the left-hand side. This capital, for example, was taken from the monastery of Saint Germain in Saqqara, which was built during the 6th century. Some other columns have the the black or the gray colors because it was used inside the churches.
Mr. Hamdy, we've moved on and I can see the minarets. I know that the mosque has two beautiful minarets that are significant specifically to this mosque. Can you tell me what's so special about them, please?
The two minarets were built on the Persian style of art. We have one over the entrance and the other one locates at the western corner of the mosque. If you look at the top of the minaret, you can see the garlic shape, which is typically a Persian style of art, and we can see also verses from the Quran ornamenting the upper part of the minaret, besides an open pavilion and a stalactite balconies that was added during their time. The Islam was dominant during the time of Nasir Muhammad ibn Qalawun. That's why a lot of Persian artisans came from their land and they migrated to Egypt and they start building mosques and religious buildings in Cairo. That wasn't astonished during that time to find some of the Persian influence inside the mosques and the religious buildings.
Mr. Ahmed, now we've moved to the prayers area or the mihrab. And I've noticed here, in particular in that area, that the columns seem to be a bit longer and thicker. Is there any resemblance or significance to this?
Yes, the first purpose here is to support the dome over the prayer niche. And second, it's a place for the caliph and his courtmen to pray in privacy. And this is to avoid the risk of the assassination.
Right. And also we have the dome, which I do know, as we spoke before earlier, it was done usually for acoustic purposes. Can you explain to me?
Yes, because there wasn't a microphone during that time, so they just decided to add a dome or more domes inside this mosque for the purpose of the acoustic. If we just clap our hand like that, we can hear.
We can hear the echo actually, so everybody would be able to hear the calling for the prayers.
Yes, exactly. And moreover, we can see also some windows below the dome. This is to enlight this place. And also the dome supporting over spherical triangular binding tabs was added by the Ottomans because the dome was damaged during their time. And they decided during the 17th century to restore the dome. So it's an Ottoman restoration.
Exactly. Mr. Hamdi, as we've come closer to the mihrab, can you tell us a little bit more in details about the decoration of the mihrab? And I know that area over there is especially for the Friday sermon, that wooden, that area where the imam actually says his sermon for Friday. Can you talk to me a little bit more in details and explain to us that mihrab area?
Unfortunately, most of the marble of this mosque was robbed. It was dismantled during the medieval time and was transferred to some other buildings. But in the year 1924, the Committee of Preserving Arab Monuments decided to restore the mosque partly.
So the mosque has been restored altogether, 1924.
Yes, in 1924 they started a restoration project, and they just restored this part of the prayer niche, the mihrab, and they added a marble of different shapes and different colors called the polychrome marble, besides some marble dadders. And they also used a mother of pearl for the restoration, and some decorations with a Persian influence like the dwarf blind arcades that was added inside the recess of the mihrab. Also to the right side we can see the pulpit, or the member of the mosque. It was used for the Friday sermon, and it's made of sycamore wood and inlaid with ebony and ivory.
So that part as well has been restored?
Yes.
That member as well?
The member was added by the committee. It's not restored. The original member or the pulpit was robbed as well, besides the marble of the mosque.
So that's a restored member as well?
Yes, this one was added by the committee in 1924.
And as we've come closer to the mihrab area, can you explain to us a little bit in details the decorations of the mihrab area, please, Mr. Hamdi?
Well, if we looked at the recess of the mihrab, we can see at the bottom the dwarf blind arcades, which was entirely Persian style of art during the time of the 14th century. And also we can see some verses from the Holy Quran left from where the Naskh script. At the top we can see also some mother of pearl used for the decoration with the name of Allah left inside a medallion, like the sun and its rays. And also to the right and the left from the mihrab, and that was a part that was restored among the restoration of the year 1924 by the Committee of Preserving Arab Monuments. You can see the marble of different colors. It's called the polychrome marble, and with different geometrical shapes as well. Behind me we can see the
now we're moving on to the member
or the pulpit.
Exactly.
This pulpit was
the purpose of the member originally was for
the purpose for the Friday sermon, where the imam recites the sermon before the noon prayer on Friday, and unfortunately the original member of the mosque was lost, robbed or lost. Yes, during the medieval time, but during the 20th century, the Committee of Preserving Arab Monuments decided to add another member or the pulpit. It's made of the cedar wood and inlaid with ebony and ivory. The ebony is the black wood, and we can see some geometrical patterns here, like the star pattern decoration. Okay, in the middle we can see the star and
different other geometrical patterns.
Yes, it's a Fatimid invention, Fatimid design, but later the Mamluks use it as a decorative element for their wooden objects, especially the pulpit or the member.
Well, we've come now to the end of one of Egypt's treasure today, the Al Nasr Muhammad ibn Qalawun Mosque, that we hope you've enjoyed and discovered the story behind this treasure, and looking forward to another story behind another treasure. See you.